What's going on, everybody? Crypto Headquarters here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the huge news that is Tron acquiring and going out and buying BitTorent. So we're going to be covering this news. We're going to be covering exactly what's been going on, the history behind this, and what this means for not only the future of Tron but the project as a whole. So we're going to be talking about all of this and more throughout the video, but first and foremost I do want to jump into the disclaimer, which states none of the information in today's video is investment or financial advice. This is just simply my personal opinion. Please do your own research before investing. Invest at your own risk. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose, and consult a financial advisor if necessary. As for transparency purposes, I'm not invested in a Tron at the time of making this video, and I don't hold Tron in my portfolio. So with all that said, let's jump right into the news. As you may or may not have already heard, Tron and Justin Sun are looking to acquire BitTorent Inc. And before I continue, all of the articles as always will be linked in the description down below for those of you guys who are interested. But again, before we continue talking about Justin Sun and his relationship with BitTorrent and how this is all going to come together, I want to talk about what BitTorrent actually is. So for those of you guys not familiar with BitTorrent, BitTorrent is a communication protocol for peer-to-peer file sharing, otherwise known as P2P. Now, peer-to-peer file sharing is basically another way to effectively and efficiently transfer files over the internet. These files can distribute data as well as electronic files. Now, these files could be containing TV shows, video clips, movies, digital audio files, including songs, etc. So peer-to-peer networks have been estimated to collectively account for approximately 43 to 70% of all internet traffic worldwide as of February 2009. So as those numbers are actually dated, and they were recorded a long time ago. At the same time, keep in mind that while BitTorrent has fallen off, it still has a very, very important role in how the internet is shaped in regards to peer-to-peer transactions. Now, moving forward here, I do want to explain the legality aspect of BitTorrent, because a lot of times BitTorrent becomes synonymous, whether it be right or wrong, with the dark web and illegal and illicit activities. Now, with this, credit where credit's due. Over on businessinsider.com, they do a great job addressing this issue. So the same way that you can legally own a gun for recreational target practice and hunting, you could also use that gun for another purpose, such as robbing a bank. BitTorrent is a perfectly legitimate technology. Its protocol itself is simply a matter of what you will use it for that makes it legal or illegal. That tech-savvy friend who's downloading movies weeks before they come out on DVD, he's probably breaking the law. But your friend who's using BitTorrent to download a new indie movie with the director's blessing, he's got the right idea. So the BitTorrent protocol is all about how you use it. While this may seem obvious for some of you guys that are already familiar with BitTorrent, I do want to address that before moving forward, because that is something that could confuse people or might muddy the whole article and everything that we're going to be looking here today. But moving forward here, BitTorrent Inc., operator of the torrent client uTorrent, is reportedly in the process of being acquired by Tron founder Justin Sun. So let's break this down from the beginning. The past few years, BitTorrent has been going downhill. Though many people speculate that this is due to bad management practices, none of this matters because it looks like BitTorrent is going to be acquired by Tron founder Justin Sun. So to start from the beginning, Justin Sun began talking with BitTorrent back in September of 2017. And by January of 2018, BitTorrent and Justin Sun had filed a legal letter of intent and paperwork that basically gave Justin Sun exclusive rights to talk to BitTorrent about acquiring BitTorrent as well as its assets. Now, in this letter of intent, there was a no shop clause. However, this no shop clause was violated. Now, what a no shop clause is a no shop clause says that BitTorrent isn't allowed to go and shop around and go talk to other competitors or other people who want to buy and acquire BitTorrent. This not only keeps the price down for Justin Sun, but avoids any bidding war that would come with other people who might want to acquire BitTorrent over Justin Sun. So Justin Sun had 2 months of exclusivity that ended in February of 2018. However, what's important to know is that this no shop clause was actually violated hours after it was signed. Now, there was multiple companies that had actually reached out to BitTorrent after this no shop clause was signed, and the reason that the no shop clause was violated is because BitTorrent admitted that they had been communicating with these other superior bids from companies. So Justin Sun sued. He opened a lawsuit. However, it was, as we can see, dismissed in court, even though that the no shop clause was violated. So what Sun actually requested was a restraining order for BitTorrent to cease communications with other potential buyers. Even though this was dismissed, it was already what was put out there in the no shop clause. So at the end of February, what happened then? Well, in the end of February, Justin Sun registered a holding company. Now, this holding company was named Rainberry Acquisition. It was registered in California. And what's interesting is a few weeks ago, we saw BitTorrent Inc. quietly rename its company to Rainberry. Now, Rainberry and Rainberry Acquisitions are eerily close together, not only in time, but also in the fact they have the same name. So obviously something is happening here, and it's not a coincidence that Justin Sun is the CEO of this new Rainberry Acquisition company, and BitTorrent is changing its name to Rainberry. Now, with all of this comes the news and begs the question that at the end of February, right when the exclusivity period set and the letter of intent ended, though Rainberry Acquisition was registered then, it still says, while it's clear that Tron's founder is eager to acquire BitTorrent, less is known about what actually happened after the no shop clause was violated. Did both parties throw their letter of intent in the trash mid-February, or was the deal still on? So there was a bit of friction between BitTorrent Inc. as well as Justin Sun at that point in time, but it seems as it's coming full circle. To summarize everything that's happened, because I know I went through that fast, basically we have September 2017, talks begin. We have January of 2018, we have the letter of intent that's signed. Then about mid-February, or a few hours actually after the letter of intent was signed, we have the no shop clause that gave exclusivity between Justin Sun and BitTorrent that was violated. And we had other companies coming in and bidding with BitTorrent, and BitTorrent was illegally communicating with them. Justin Sun sues, nothing happens with it. The case was dismissed in court. Now, we don't know much of what happened after that, but what we did see is at the end of February, we saw Justin Sun register a holding company known as Rainberry Acquisitions, and we saw BitTorrent change its name. So at this point in time, Justin Sun has neglected, as well as BitTorrent, to reach out to any of these websites, whether it be Torrent Freak or Cointelegraph, about this news. However, at this point, Sun's plan for BitTorrent, even though they remain unclear and hasn't spoken about the acquisition in public, is that it's likely to be used to the advantage of Tron. And interestingly, BitTorrent Inc. founder Bram Cohen has also taken an interest in cryptocurrencies. And though we're not going to cover this in this video today, keep in mind that BitTorrent is going to be one of the key pillars of the future of Tron, and we can see that in Tron's white paper. If I'm just to look at the word torrent in Tron's white paper we have up, we can see that it appears 12 times, with BitTorrent appearing about 8 times. So if you guys want to dive into the technical aspect of the Tron white paper, I'll leave this linked in the description down below. However, to end the video, I do want to jump over to the Tron subreddit. And the Tron subreddit, I popped over here because not only is this an active community, but I wanted to see what everybody had to say in regards to this partnership, because this is really big news. BitTorrent is not only a huge company, BitTorrent Inc. and its assets, especially with its protocols, but something this big is definitely something that will get the Tron community hyped up and very excited for the future nonetheless. But I did see a comment from Dr. Strange Rub, and now he basically speculated what would happen if Tron were to actually acquire BitTorrent, which looks like is going to happen in the future. And I'll read you his comment. So torrents are decentralized by nature, as the downloads are seeded by individuals who own parts of the files, as we have mentioned thus far. Additionally, the P2P technology is beneficial for the development of Tron. I suspect Justin envisions a platform where entertainment can be downloaded through an entirely decentralized torrent software, which goes hand in hand with Tron's mission of decentralizing the web. Well, this does seem ambitious. That means he is attacking the entire status quo. The MPAA, record industry, and various other conglomerates will be directly affected if they do, in fact, achieve a full peer-to-peer download platform. So it looks like, or at least some people are speculating, that Tron is trying to acquire BitTorrent to create a platform where it's completely peer-to-peer, it's completely decentralized, and content can be downloaded there. And we know that Tron's trying to put power back into the content creators' hands. So this is going to be definitely an interesting developing story in the future. So while this is just speculation and none of this is 100% confirmed true, it is interesting to see what people has to say, because right now Justin Sun has remained quiet, BitTorent has remained quiet about what specifically is going on here. So I thought I would include something that potentially puts it into perspective about what could happen in the future with the acquisition of BitTorent. For the most part, I think I covered everything that I needed to recover in regards to the potential acquisition of BitTorent from Justin Sun and Tron. Now with this, I want to open it up to you guys. What do you guys think this means for the future of Tron? Obviously, we have the first proof of concept and the mainnet launching here within the next few days, and I don't think it is any coincidence that this news is coming out right about the time that the mainnet goes live here, and that we see Tron really begin to form and become into its own identity, especially with its own blockchain developing here, and the ability for the influx of new developers and people to jump on the actual Tron blockchain and develop, whether it be a dApp or whether it be a smart contract over on the Tron platform. So a lot of exciting news for Tron in the future here, and it makes sense that Tron is acquiring BitTorent. As we've seen, it's mentioned multiple times in the white paper and is one of the pillars to decentralizing the whole entire internet. So with this, again, I'll leave it open up to you guys. What do you guys think in the comment section down below? What do you guys think this is going to do for the price of Tron? Again, I did another video where I basically gave my prediction for the price of Tron, and I talked about all the Tron mainnet news. So while this is pretty big news, I think that this is just going to build on to the hype that is the Tron mainnet launching in the next few days. So hopefully all you Tron investors are going to see some reward for Tron doing all these awesome things. So again, guys, that's going to do it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to jump right into the disclaimer, which states none of the information in today's video is investment or financial advice. This is just simply my personal opinion. Please do your own research before investing. Invest at your own risk. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose, and consult a financial advisor if necessary. As for transparency purposes, I'm not invested in Tron. I don't hold Tron in my portfolio at the time of making this video, but right now it looks like Tron's jumped to number 9th overall, back into the top 10. Actually, I'm not even sure if it was out of it, but we're sitting at number 9 with a market cap of about $4.6 billion. Tron is definitely in good shape to see potentially some price action within the next few days. But again, make sure to like and subscribe and have a great rest of your guys' day.